G'day everyone, welcome to another video on Palmerville. As you can see, we've had a bit of rain and the creek's got a little bit of flow in them. Not quite enough to put a sluice in yet, but I can do some panning at least, so we might do some of that today. I've brought the pan and the detector, and I've come back with some spots where I got some really good small gold with the detector in amongst some bedrock crevices here a couple of years ago. But we'll have a bit of a look even just here on this bank. You can see here, we just got all bedrock hanging out of the ground everywhere. So I'll come up and do some tests from in amongst these bedrock bars as well. But the first one I really want to test is back around the corner here. Now when I say I did pretty well with the detector, I probably got 6 or 8 grams from this spot I'm walking to now. And no big gold at all, just all small gold, probably nothing over half a gram. But there was lots of it, and it was all in a yellow clay. So I'll chase that yellow clay in amongst these bedrock bar here and see what I can get. I'm a little bit above the creek, so it's on like a low terrace. And I think the old timers just missed some pay dirt, to be honest. And then when they came through with the bulldozer and took all these banks and everything away, they've exposed this bedrock here. And it was this bedrock here along the edge of the creek that I picked up all the nuggets. You can see it keeps going right down through there as well. But this one here and that one in particular were really good for gold. So I'm gonna grab the pick, grab the pan, we'll dig some dirt and see what we can pan up. Let's get it. I've dug this spot out behind that crevice there. You can see I've got that yellow clay I was talking about. And one thing to note today is I've just got a gold pan. I don't have sieves or classifiers or anything with me. It's a long walk in, so I just pack light. So just clay and dirt straight in the gold pan, just like the old timers did it. I'll possibly lose a bit of gold, but this is more of a test anyway. You know, and if this works out well, then next year after the wet season when the rivers are flowing, I'll have somewhere to work. So we'll see how we go. I'll chuck that in the pan and we'll go and give it a wash. Righto, so I took a heap of samples out of that yellow clay bed and didn't get any gold at all. Now it could have simply been because of the type of material. You know, I detected a heap of small gold out of that clay bed, and a week ago that clay bed was dry and crumbly, but now it's just wet and gluggy. So I wasn't able to break it up, and really it wasn't a good test to find out if there was gold there or not. So I started bedrocking instead. Coming in and just, you know, you can see all these big bedrock bars cutting down through the creek everywhere. Went pretty average for the first few, but then I dug this one down behind this bedrock bar, and I'll have a look at what I got. Now, that's a nice pan. They're nice little pieces, those. If I can keep doing pans like that, I'll be stoked. It's a little bit disappointing that there's just not enough water in the creek to put the sluice in, so I'm just going to have to pan. I could probably put a sluice in now, but the creek's still dropping, so in a couple of hours it could well be stopped. So yeah, I'm just going to do a heap of panning and see how I go. I'll open up all this bedrock crack now. So I'll take all this out and pan all through here. And when I'm done panning, I'll run my detector over it as well to see if I've exposed any new gold. But you can see, you know, I've just got bedrock cracks everywhere. And some of these are going to be rich, I'd say. There's too many for one person in a lifetime almost on this creek, and just goes for kilometres. So anyway, we'll do some panning, see if I can get a gram or two of gold. We'll see how we go. Righto, let's get it. Oh, I saw that. Look at that. Okay, that's a bloody lovely pan, that is. Look at it in the shade here. It's a nice little picker. Plus a heap of other small bits as well. That's my third pan. The second pan wasn't great, but that one's fantastic. I'm going to go right here today, I think. Now, like I said, you can see there's just not enough flow to put a sluice in. And you're probably all thinking, well, just put a high banker in. But this is Queensland. We're not allowed to use high bankers up here. We're reduced to panning or river sluice. That's our only two options. So it's a bit unfortunate, because if I pumped through a ton of this material, I'd get a lot of gold. Just got to hope that next year, when I come back early next year, this creek's running nicely and I can drop a river sluice in. Alrighty, back to panning. This is going great so far. Rightio, so I got stuck into that bedrock crack there for a bit. You can see I've hollowed it right out. And what I soon realised was that the best gold was on top. So it's all recent flood gold. Once I'd bust that clay layer open, it was that first pan where the gravels and the clays met that had the good gold. As soon as I went down into the clay, it was hard to process and it didn't have anywhere near as much gold in it. So I moved spots, as you do. You see I had plenty of bedrock cracks to choose from, but I thought I'd try and get one that was easier to get to the water for the pan, and I'm spending more time walking than anything else. So I came down here, a step further, and I took out behind this rock. See, I've only just taken that first layer, and I've got a nice picker out of it. So there's a nice little nugget in there. It's probably a 0.1 or thereabouts. So only a couple of tiny bits of fine gold down there, but at least there's one nice nugget. So I'll have a bit more of a try in this area. But I'm not going to waste too much time digging to depth. The gold's in the clay, but the clay is so hard to process, it slows you down too much. So I'm just going to chase this flood gold now and take that first good layer down to where it meets the clay and process a heap of that nice and quick and see if I can get a decent amount of gold. Righto, back to it. Now that's a nice pan with those three nice chunks there, tail coming out down there. That's what I wanted to see. I'll show you the bedrock crack it came out of. Unfortunately, I've nearly got all the pay dirt. I'll get one more pan out of it, but that's what I want to see. So down in there is where all that gold just came from. You can still see I can scrape that out and get a lot more dirt out of that yet. So hopefully a couple more good pans, and maybe all this stuff up in here might be that nice rich gold that I'm chasing. That's the sort of stuff that's going to get me to 1 gram per day. Right, put this in the bucket, take some more dirt. Happy with that one. That's a great pan. So I'm back on that thing. I didn't last long panning. I was starting to cramp up in the legs and my fingertips are getting all sore from dragging the dirt out. I'm not used to being on that pan. But for the couple of hours worth of panning I did, I think I've gone all right. So I'll pan off at the end, of course, and we'll see how I went. But yeah, I've only been back on the detector for half an hour or so, and I've already got 3 little nuggets. So I'll do another hour or 2 on it and see if I can get that gram of gold in the jar, and then have a clean up and head for home. This is it, last prospect for the year. I'm pretty interested to come back next year and do some more panning here. There was a spot downstream from me, about 1 kilometre downstream, where the amount of small gold I detected was just phenomenal. So I'd imagine there's a reasonable amount of, good panning gold there as well. But we'll find out that answer in 2025. Righto, back on that thing for an hour or 2 and then I'm out. Trying to pan off some concentrates and see how we went. Now I've got my jar in here with the nuggets I detected, and then all this concentrate in there is what I panned. So I chuck a bit of water in this pan. In she goes. Off and see how it looks like. I'm not expecting crazy amounts, and a lot of what I did get were picker size gold. There wasn't really as much fine gold as I'd hoped to see, but I think with more exploration in this area I will eventually come up some good spots. good spots for working with the sluice and the pan. I think in the future, you know, I think like 5 or 10, 20 years, we should be able to make a living panning again. And that's, you know, just my opinion, the way the gold price is going and all that sort of thing. But, you know, this commodity is just getting rarer and rarer all the time. So, you know, if we can find these sort of spots and even just keep them under the hat for a few years, and, you know, they may not be payable now, but in the future, this might be a viable income. You know, I'm getting a lot of gold turned up on the side of this pan already, which is great. Yeah, so next time I come in, I'll try and come in with a better setup too, not such a rough and ready sort of, you know, bush setup. Basically, I'm still doing it almost like the old timers did. No classifiers, nothing like that. Just dirt in a pan. So no doubt, you know, when you do it that way, you're going to lose a little bit of gold, but you do still get the majority of it. And when you're testing on days like this, that's perfectly acceptable. I think, you know, it's just easier to carry everything, easier to work, quick to work. It's just you do lose some gold, but we'll see how much I got before we worry about what I lost. And that's not bad. I'll take that. I'll see if I can get out of that glare. There we go. That's not a bad day's panning, really. I'm going to say there's, you know, 0.3 or something like that there. Thereabouts. Bit of fine gold, but not much. Mostly sort of lumpy stuff. Yeah, pretty happy with that. It's a nice amount of gold. Alright, then we chuck these on top. And we'll see how we went for the day. Oh, I put the lid on too tight. Get off. Alright. So yeah, you can see the nuggets I got detected. So I detected for probably 2 hours and I panned for about 2 hours. So you can see there's actually, it's sort of comparable. I mean, I probably got close to a gram in detecting gold there, and, you know, maybe 0.3 in fines, but all up for the day, it was quite good. Now, if I'd have prospected first and detected those nuggets and then panned from where I got the nuggets, who knows, it might have been a bit different. But anyway, next year I'll come back and to this spot. I think I'll bring my young son Alex with me, and I reckon we can make a living in here doing this. Happy days. All right, now I've just got to pack up, take it all home, dry it all up, and we'll have a weigh up and see what I did get for the day. Always like this time of year. It's beautiful on the creeks up here this time of year. It's a bit of a shame to leave, but if I don't leave now, I'll probably never get out because there's some big rain coming in a few days. Rightio. I'm reluctant to leave, I am. I love being up here. I love this bloody river. Anyway, Suki la la, time to go. Time to go. Rightio, a couple of hours of panning and I got 0.33. Pretty happy with that. And I chuck on these nuggets that I got while I was detecting as well. 1.26 for the day. Not too bad. So that panning really wasn't that bad, I think, for the amount of time I spent there. I was only there for a couple of hours. So I'm sure if you spent a few weeks there really searching for good ground for, for panning or running a sluice, then you'd find it. It'd be there. Anyway, that was it for the year. Last prospect. It was just good to know that there is, good panning gold there, and I think there is a possibility you could actually make a living out of it if you really put your mind to it and chase down the good ground. But that'll do me for today. I've got a camp to pack up and then south I head. So there it is, last prospect on Palmerville Station for 2024. But don't worry, it'll still be here next year and I'll be back to do it all again. See yous.